Good morning to all. I'm Athendra. I'm working as assistant professor at Department of Civil Engineering, Bharat Institute of Higher Education and Research. Today I'm going to give a video lecture, Introduction to Solid Mechanics. Is a course code U18 PCCE 403. Topic: Stress and Simple Bending. So the first one, outline for the presentation. So the first topic we are discuss about what is the bending stress. So in the bending stress, so in the previous video already we are discussed what is the stress and what is the bending moment. So here, so what is the relationship between for the stress and the bending? So for this first topic we are discussed what is the bending stress. The next one, bending equation. So we are arrive on bending equation. So how do we arrive at bending equations? For the due to the bending, the equation we are arrived. So this is second topic we are discuss about what is the bending equation. The next one, theory for the bending. So for the code book is give some assumption for the theory for the bending. So if any on beam means the due to the external load, the beam will be bending. So what is the theory for the bending? We are discussing the third one. The fourth one, derivation relationship between the bending and the bending stress. So what is the relationship between for the bending and the bending stress? We are discussing the fourth one. The fifth one, moment of resistance for the section. Okay, so what is the moment of resistance for the section? We are discussed. So the next one, section modulus. So what is the section modulus? We are discussed. From after that, what is various method for the section modulus? For example, for the rectangle section, hollow section, circular section. So how to we are find out section modulus for the various section we are find out. So last some problems we are discussed. This is a total outline of the presentation. The first one is a bending stress. If a specific length of the beam is subjected to a constant bending moment and shear force is a zero, then the stress set up in that length of the beam is known as called as a bending stress. The length of the beam under constant bending moment is called as a pure bending. Okay, so the first one we are discuss about what is the bending stress. Okay, so you can see that the second diagram for the bending stress. So this is a first one here is a low, it's a beam. So load will be at the end of the beam. Two point load is acting on single point load from the support C and the end of the support D, one load will be acting. So for this beam we draw the due to the external load the beam will be bending. So for the bending we draw the shear force and bending moment diagram. Okay, the first one is a shear force diagram, the second one is a bending moment diagram. Okay, for this concept, for the both shear force and bending moment is a zero. Okay, zero. So what is the bending stress means? Here, what is the bending stress means? The length of the beam under the constant bending moment is called as a pure bending. So the pure bending is called as a bending stress. Okay. So in this case, the length of the beam, the length here, this is the length of the beam constant throughout the beam. That is called as a pure bending. Okay. So in this case, for the bending moment and the shear force is a zero, it's called as a bending stress. So next one for the bending stress. So here you can see the first image. See this is image before deformation. This is the original shape. This is a beam. This is the original shape. So before deformation means due to the external load, the bending, the beam will be bending. So, that is the second case after deformation. So before deformation means there is no deformation. That is a before deformation. So this is the original beam. The first one, internal bending moment causes beam to deform. Okay, so internal bending moment causes, so due to the external load the beam will be deformed. Due to the external load the beam will be deformed. This is the first one. Okay, so here for this diagram, top fiber is called as a compression, bottom fiber is called as a tension. Okay, so for the top fiber means here, from the center of the beam it's called as a neutral axis. In the neutral axis from the top surface we called as a compression, is a bottom we called as a tension. Okay, so third point, the neutral surface no change in the length. Okay, so after deform the beam will be length will be changed, but the neutral axis, the neutral surface, the length don't change. That is the second point, no change in the length. The third one, neutral axis, line of the intersection of neutral surface with the transverse section. Okay, so here from the x-axis you can see that the axial after deformation, the line of the intersection means, so here the line of the intersection means for x and y-axis, the x and y-axis line, that the intersection line, neutral surface with the transfer the section. It means the transfer the section means to change in the section. Okay, from the axis from x the graph here, this is x-axis and y-axis line to change in the section. Okay, all cross section remaining plane and perpendicular to the longitudinal axis, so that is called as a bending stress. Okay, if you bending stress means this first one before deformation, the second diagram after deformation. So here we noted three important point. We are applying the load due to the external load, the beam will be deformed. This is the first point. The second point, from the neutral axis, top fiber we called always is a compression, bottom fiber we called is a tension. The third point, from the neutral axis line, that if we are applying the load will be, the beam will be bending, but the neutral axis, the length will be no change. If length means that intersection line, that x-axis and y-axis, that horizontal and vertical line, the don't change it. So the third one, fourth point, line of the intersection of the neutral surface is the transverse section. Okay, so the fifth point, all the cross section remaining plane and perpendicular to the axis. So you can see that the second diagram, axial deformation. So the horizontal line beam is curved. Here you can see the diagram. From the horizontal line beam is curved, but vertical and remaining straight only. This vertical, here you can see the diagram. For the diagram, that vertical line is a constant only, but the line is not deformed. But in the horizontal line, beam is a curved. So that is the last point. All the cross section remaining plane and perpendicular to the axis. Okay, so the next one is a bending equation. So here is a bending equation. Bending equation means sigma divided by y equal to m divided by I equal to E divided by R. That is a bending equation. So how to we are arrive this bending equation means, the first what is a sigma means? Sigma is a bending stress. Next, M is a bending moment. I is a moment of inertia. E is a Young's modulus or modulus of velocity. R is a radius of the curvature. Y is a distance of the fiber from neutral axis. So here Y means distance from fiber from neutral axis means from the neutral axis top fiber or bottom fiber, there is a y. Okay, so this is a bending equation. So the next slide I am explain how to we arrive that bending equation means. So here you can consider the simply supported beam. Okay, so simply supported beam. So the simply supported beam, due to the load, due to the external point load acting, so due to the load the beam will be bending. Okay, so there's a green color line, the green color line is a beam, it will be bending. Okay, so the beam will be bending means, due to the bending, some one curvature will be that is one curvature, the bending shape is like a curvature. Okay, so that is called as a radius of the curvature, is a r. Okay, so next one, due to the load the beam will be bending. Okay, some stress is applied, that is called as a bending stress. Okay, so due to the load one moment will be created. Okay, that is called as a bending moment. Okay, and for this cross section, because the cross section also is changed due to the bending, the cross section also changed. So here what is the bending equation means, from the bending moment diagram, the change in the curvature, it means the change in the shape. So change in the shape means the all the parameters, the first one, radius of the curvature, bending moment, bending stress, the cross section of the beam, this all the characterization, we arrive the bending equation. So what is the relationship between for all the characterizations, that is called as a bending equation. So first one is the bending stress, bending moment, moment of the inertia is a property, moment of inertia is a property, Young's modulus of the velocity is a properties, radius of the curvature and the distance for the fibers. Okay, so this is all the relationship. We find out what is the bending stress, that is called bending. Finally, this using this all the relationship, we are find out bending stress. Okay, so this equation is called as a bending equation. So next one, what is the theory of for bending? Okay, so totally 6 or 7 points. The first one, material of the beam is a homogeneous and isotropic constant E in all direction. Okay, so here first point is E means is a Young's modulus. So material of the beam is a homogeneous and isotropic. Okay, so here what is a homogeneous and isotropic means? You can see that first image. So for the material, this is the material of the beam. It's a homogeneous and isotropic. Okay. For Young's modulus constant for that all for an all direction, the Young's modulus is a constant. This is again one. Okay. So you can see that diagram from both compression and tension. The Young's modulus means modulus of the elasticity is a constant. Okay, the second point, the Young's modulus is a constant, is a compression and a tension. Okay, so Young's modulus means the E. So the E, both compression and tension is a constant. Okay, so you know very well is a compression means is a push, tension means is a pull. Okay, so for that compression and tension is a constant for that case. Okay, the third one, transfer section which are plane uh, before bending, remaining plane after bending. Okay, so you can read that again. I read the point. Transfer sections. What is a transfer section means? You can see that second or third image. For the first one, the blue color arrow mark is a straight beam. Okay, before we are applying the load. Okay, so we go for that. That is a transfer section which plane before bending, remaining after bending. Okay, so here for that beam, so first for the horizontal line only is bending, the vertical line is not bending. Okay, that is the third assumption. So the fourth one, beam is initially straight and all fundamental bend in the circular arch. Okay, circular arch. Okay, so for actually beam is initially straight. Beam is initially straight means the first we are applying the load, so that beam only is straight only. Due to the we are applying the maximum load, after that only the beam will be bending. Okay, so finally in the circular arc. The next one, the radius of the curvature is a large compared with the dimension of the cross section. Okay, so here you can see this is the fourth one. The radius of the curvature is a large to compare to the dimension of the length. Okay, so this is a B means here. So this is a B means this is the original length. Okay, after bending, the radius of the curvature is very high to compare the original length. Okay, so last one, each layer of the beam is free to expand and contraction. Okay, from each due to the bending, that each layer of the beam wants to expand or contraction. Okay, so that is the last assumption. So this is very important assumption for the theory for the bending. Okay, so the next one, so here this video will discuss about what is the derivation for the bending. Okay, so the first one, consider a small length, here is a dx or delta x. Okay, so consider a small length dx of the beam, subjected to simply bending and shown the figure. This is the first diagram. So this first diagram, uh, so consider the small length is a dx. Okay, the beam subjected to simple bending is a simple bending, the showing the figure. So okay, this is a beam after bending. This is second diagram. Due to the action of the bending, actually due to the external load acting, the beam will be bending. That is due to the action of the bending, the length of the dx will be deformed as shown in the figure D. So the length of the dx will be deformed, that is the second figure. After deformed, this is second figure. Okay, uh, due to the decreasing length of the layer above neutral axis, this layer will be subjected to compressive stress. Okay, so here I'm back to this diagram. So due to the load, the length will be decreased. Okay, if you length the cross section, the length will be decreased. Okay, decrease of the layer, so will subject to compressive stress, because that is called as a compressive stress. Due to the increasing length of the layer above neutral axis, this layer will be subject to tensile stress. Okay. Okay, here. So normally there are two category. The top fiber we called as a compressive, bottom fiber we called as a tensile. Okay. So for the cross section, uh, the increasing length, the increasing length is called as a tensile stress. The decreasing length is called as a compressive stress. Okay. So for the diagram, the length will be decreased means it's a compressive. Okay. The length will be increased means it's a tensile. Okay. The amount, third point, the amount by which layer increasing and decreasing the length depends upon the position of the layer written by neutral axis. The theory for the bending, the simple bending. Okay. So here, what is the simple bending means? So now we are discuss about what is the theory for the simple bending and what is the relationship for the simple bending. So for the compression and tension is depending on the decreasing length and increasing length. Okay. So that amount which layer increasing and decreasing length depends upon the position of the layer by the neutral axis. So that is called as a simple bending. So next one, the first one, let for this diagram, first one, let r equal to the radius of the curvature. Okay. uh, Theta is a angle subjected to subjected to O by AB and CD produced. Okay. So here, theta, here the theta, this theta. Okay, this theta, so for the O, A and B, C and D. Okay. So y is distance from the neutral axis. Okay. So here, what is the y means? uh, what is the y means? From the distance from this neutral axis, this is a neutral axis line. Okay, this is a neutral axis line. So here the y means distance from the neutral axis. Original length of the layer. So what is the original length of the layer means? Is a length, change in length is a delta x. So from the figure P, r is the radius, theta is the angle. Okay. So from the figure B, so here from the figure P, so what is the neutral axis? What is the NN? This is the neutral axis that we call as a NN. Okay. What is the neutral axis means? So r into theta. R is the radius of the curvature. So theta is the angle. Okay. So change in the increasing length. So what is the change in the increasing length means? R plus y theta minus r theta equal to y plus theta. Okay. So strain in the layer equal to increasing the length divided by original length. So you know very well what is the change strain formula means. Change in the length divided by original length. That means in this case the length will be increased. Okay. For the tension case, so increased length divided by original length. So what is the increasing length means? Is a y into theta divided by r into theta. Okay. So equal to y by r according to the linear elasticity. So what is the this equation? We divide y by r equal to sigma divided by e. So sigma equal to e by r e by r into y. Okay. So the sigma, so they're actually proportional to the y. So the stress induced in the layer of the beam created compressive and tensile force. So the finally the stress what induced means the layer of the beam is created. One is a compressive or tensile force. This force will be have moment about neutral axis. The total amount of this force about neutral axis for the section is the beam is the moment of resistance for the section. So here for the total moment means both compressive and tensile force. The total moment of the force about the neutral axis, the section is called as the moment of resistance for the section. Okay. So next one, for the moment of resistance for the beam. Okay. So before slide we discussed about what is the moment of the resistance. So in this slide we discuss about what is the moment of resistance for the any one section. So the first one, what is the moment of resistance for the beam? Okay. So consider a cross section of the beam and showing the figure. For the force on the layer. So what is the force? What is the load on the layer means? E divided by R into Y into dA. Okay. So moment of the force is a neutral axis. Force on the layer into y. Okay, E divided by R into y into dA into y. So E divided by R into y squared into dA. Okay, total moment of the force for the section of the beam, it's our moment of the resistance. Okay, so here we first one we can calculate what is the load on this. It means what is the force on the layer. It means what is the load on the layer. Okay, the next one, so the force on the layer into the section. Y means corresponding section. Okay, so you can, the force on the layer multiply into section means finally this equation. Okay, so finally, so the total moment of the force of the section means m equal to E by R into I, or m divided by I equal to E divided by R. So m divided by I equal to sigma divided by y equal to E divided by R. So the next one we are discuss about section modulus. Okay, it is the ratio of the moment of the inertia of the section about the neutral axis to the distance of the outermost layer from the neutral axis is called as a section modulus. Okay, so here what is the section modulus is a sigma is the z equal to I divided by y max. Okay, so here I means moment of the inertia about the neutral axis, y max means distance of the outermost layer from the neutral axis. Okay, so that is the section modulus. What is the section modulus? Means the ratio of the moment of the inertia into distance. Okay, so that is called as a moment of the section modulus. So next one, so the moment of resistance offered by the section, the maximum when is z is a maximum, hence the z is represented by the strength of the section. So here so here is the z is the section modulus. The z is a represent moment of resistance offered by the section. Okay, so max when z is a maximum, z represents strength of the section. So the next one, section modulus for the various section we are discussed. The first one, what is the section modulus for the rectangular section? So for the rectangular section, it's a breadth. Okay, it's a depth. So it's a neutral axis. So depth divided by 2 is the half section, d divided by 2. Okay, so first one. You know very well what is the formula for the section modulus. If the section modulus is z equal to I divided by y. So first we are finding what is the I, moment of the inertia. So for the moment of the inertia for the rectangular section, bd cube divided by 12. Okay, so y max means distance from the top fiber, either top fiber or bottom fiber. So for the rectangular section, top fiber is a t divided by 2. So y max is a t divided by 2. So next you can substitute the formula z equal to uh, bd cube divided by 12 whole divided by t divided by 2. Okay, so finally what is the section modulus for the rectangular section means z equal to bd square divided by 6. So the next one, rectangular uh, section modulus for the rectangular hollow section. So this is a hollow section diagram. So from the hollow section diagram is a breadth and depth. So is the neutral axis is d divided by 2. Okay. From the hollow section is a small b and a small d. Okay. So the first one you write the formula for the moment of rectangular for the hollow section modulus formula. So section modulus means is z. Okay. If z equal to I divided by y max. Okay, so first you can write the what is the I formula. Okay, I formula means bd cube divided by 12 minus bd cube divided by 12. Okay, so it means it's a hollow section. The hollow section, so breadth, it means outside for breadth and depth bd cube divided by 12 minus inner from breadth and depth bd cube divided by 12. Okay, so that is a moment of the inertia. So y max is a d divided by 2. So you can just substitute the formula. Finally, what is the section modulus z equal to I divided by 6d bd cube minus small bd cube. That is a rectangular hollow section formula. Okay. So the next one for the circular section, this is a diagram for the circular section. It's a small diameter. So first you write the I formula. I means the section modulus. So this I equal to for the pi divided by 64 d power 4. Okay. The next you write the y max formula. So y max formula is a d divided by 2. Okay. So z equal to I divided by 32 into d cube. So the next one, circular hollow section. For the circular hollow section, this is a diagram for the circular hollow section. So I divided by 64 d power 4 minus d power 4. So y max equal to d divided by 2. Z equal to, you can substitute I divided by y max. So I value I pi divided by 64 d power 4 minus small d power 4 whole divided by capital D divided by 2. You can substitute the value, means z equal to pi divided by 32d d power 4 minus d power 4. So the next one we are discuss about one problem. So a cantilever, a cantilever length 2 meter. When the load is a 2 kilonewton applied the free end, if the section of the beam is a 40 meter into 60 mm, find the stress at a failure. Okay. So this is a diagram. So for that case, you can find out. First, you can draw the diagram. Okay. So cantilever length. You know very well what is a cantilever beam means. If a cantilever beam means one end is a fixed, other end is a free, that is a cantilever beam. So from the free end is a, what is the load acting? Is a 2 kilonewton load is acting. So it's a distance is a 2 meter from the support A to at end is a 2 meter is a length. So this is a cross section diagram. Okay, what is the length of the beam? Means the beam is, the length is a 40 mm, and breadth and depth is a 40 mm and 60 mm. Okay, so for this problem we are finding what is the stress at the failure. So the first one, first one, here we have find out stress at failure. If stress at failure means sigma maximum, it's a maximum stress. Okay. So since R is not given, so what is the formula for that? Stress at failure, stress is a maximum, means sigma equal to E divided by R divided by Y. Okay, so here E is a Young's modulus, Y is a distance from the top fiber or bottom fiber. So for that problem, R is not given. R is a curvature. Curvature is not given. So first you can find out what is the R. Okay, so here instead use M equal to sigma max into I divided by Y max. Okay, so here so first one you can find out Z equal to BD square divided by 6. Okay, breadth and depth is given. Okay, so breadth is so 40 mm, depth equal to 60 mm. So 40 into 60 whole square divided by 6 is a, so finally we got the what is the Z. So after that M equal to W into L. Okay, so M is a bending moment. Bending moment is force into corresponding distance. Okay, so W is a load is given, is a 2000, length also is given, 2 into 10 power of 3. So what is equal to, what is the answer mean? 4 into 10 power of 6 Newton per mm. Okay, so now stress at failure means is a sigma maximum. So what is the formula? M by Az. Okay, so here M equal to, already we are find out 4 into 10 power of 6 divided by Z equal to 24,000. So finally sigma max 166.67 Newton per mm square. So in this problem, what is the maximum stress? Maximum stress or stress at failure means 166.67 Newton per mm square. The second problem, a square beam 200 mm into 200 mm in a section and 2 meter long is simply supported at the ends. The beam fails when the point load of 400 Newton is applied at the end of the beam. What is the uniformly distributed load as per meter length will break a cantilever of the same material 40 mm wide and 60 mm depth and 3 meter length? Okay, so the first one, so you write the first one, you write the given data. So the first one is a cantilever beam only. So the length is a 40 mm, length is a 3 meter, breadth and depth 40 mm and 60 mm. Okay, so what is the load is applying? Is a 400 Newton is the load is applying. Okay, so for that problem we are find out what is the uniformly distributed load per meter length. Okay, so the first one, maximum stress in the beam at the square cross section. Okay. So first we are finding out Z. Z equal to, what is the formula? BD squared divided by 6. So breadth and depth is given. You can find out. Okay. Okay. So next we are finding out moment. Moment is W into L divided by 4. W is 400 Newton. Length W also available in the given data. Length also available. You can substitute the value and find out what is the moment. Okay. So finally, if we stress at a failure, if a Q max equal to, substitute Z into M into 3, so 150 Newton per mm squared. Okay. So maximum stress in the beam for the rectangular section means So same one for the Z is the same. For yeah, the Z is the same for the moment only changed. Okay, so here for the square section means the force into length divided by 4, WL divided by 4. Okay, so here what is the formula means WL for that rectangular section means the moment formula WL square divided by 2. So W is a load, L is already given, so WL square divided by 2 is a 4.5 W. Okay. So the next problem, a timber beam for the rectangular section of the length 8 meters is simply supported. The beam carries an uniformly distributed load 12 kilonewton per meter run over the entire the length and a point load of 10 kilonewton at 3 meter from the left support. If the depth is 2 times the width and the stress in the timber is not to be exceed 8 Newton per mm squared. Find the suitable dimension for the section. Okay, so for that problem, first we can draw the diagram. Is a simply supported beam. If a simply supported beam means is a both end is a one support. That is simply supported beam. So it's a reaction RE and RB. The load is a uniformly distributed load throughout the beam. Okay. So what is the length of the beam means from the support A to B it's a 8 meter. So the what is the intensity? What is the uniformly distributed load means it's a 12 kilonewton per meter. Okay, and also the point load also acting from that 3 meter from the support 8 to right side the 3 meter the point load is acting is a 10 kilonewton. So for that problem we are find out what is the suitable dimension for that section we are find out. Okay, first you can write the given data. So length equal to 8 meter, uniformly distributed load W equal to 12 kilonewton per meter, so you can convert to newton per meter. Okay, so the point load is a W 10 kilonewton, 10 kilonewton, you can convert to newton. Okay, so depth of the beam 2 into width of the beam. Okay, so D equal to 2B. Okay, so stress is what is the maximum stress is given 8 Newton per mm squared. Okay, so the so for that problem to find what is the maximum bending moment for that beam, and what is the Z for all the cross section, what is the Z and what is the breadth and depth we are find out. So the first one, from the simply supported case we are find out the reaction, what is the RE and RB. Okay, so find the shear force for all the point, find the maximum bending moment with the shear force this is 0. Okay, so for that case we are taking moment about B. Okay, you can see the diagram, we are taking moment about B. So we are taking moment about B means, so the RB, this is a upward force. Okay, it's a upward for this, for the bending moment sign convention. If from right side upward means it's a plus. Okay, so RB into 8. Okay, so here RB into 8 minus so what is the load acting here? RB into 8. What is the load? Here you can see the diagram. RB into 8. So it's what is the load acting? Is a 12 kilonewton. 12 minus 12 in what intensity 12 into 8, 8 divided by 2 into 10 into 3. Okay, yeah, so 12 into 8 into 4 plus point load into the point load acting corresponding distance. Okay, so now we want reaction. So now this is everything going to from this side. So RB equal to 1200 into 32 plus 3000 divided by 8. So RB equal to 51750 Newton. Okay, so for that problem RB we are find out. Now we are find out what is the RE, what is the reaction at A. Okay, so for the reaction at A means total load minus RB. So for very well what is the reaction at B. Okay, now we are find what is the reaction at A. Okay, so in this case, so what is the total load due to the external, because what is the here in this case what is the reaction means the load due to the external load the beam will be transfer the load equally, that is called as a reaction. Okay, so in this case we are find out RB already, so one side of the reaction okay, now we are find out what is the other side of the reaction. So how do we are find out the other side of the reaction? The total load minus RB. Okay, so the total load minus RB. So total load already we are find out. What is the RB already we are find out. So the total load from first one uniform distributed load 12 into 8 into 10. Okay, so minus RB, so RA equal to 54250 Newton. Okay, so next we are find out what is the shear force. Okay, so shear force from the FB minus RB minus 51750 Newton, from FC plus 82250 Newton, FA 54250 Newton. Okay, so shear force change in the sign between B and C. Let B the point where shear force 0, let X be distance in the meter, the point of the beam from B. Okay, by the calculation X equal to 4.3125 meter. Okay, find the no, so the shear force calculation is over. Next we find out the bending moment. So find the moment of the inertia I, section modulus Z for the beam cross section. So for the problem we are find out what is the moment of the inertia I and section modulus Z and beam cross section. So using this equation M equal to sigma maximum into Z. Okay, so M equal to RB into this, the distance X already we are find it 4.3125 minus 1200 into 4.3125 into 4.3125 divided by 2. So finally we are find out what is the answer. Here this answer we are find out what is the M. Okay, and Z equal to BD cube divided by 6. So breadth is not given, depth is 2B square divided by 6. Okay, so you can 2B cube divided by 3. So if M equal to sigma maximum into Z. Okay, so so Z already we are find out, this is Z. Okay, substitute this answer. So finally we are find out uh, what is the uh, z- uh, my bending moment. Okay, so this is a over. Okay, so for the problem, the moment of inertia, already we are find out, and uh, section modulus also we are find out. Okay, so for this presentation we are discuss about what is the section modulus, what is the moment of inertia, and what is the affirmation for the theory of the bending, what is the bending stress and bending equations. Okay, thank you.